Welcome to Endocrinology Made Simple for patients. We want to give you practical tips so you can live longer, learn something, or laugh a little. So about 8 to 10 years ago, I got invited to this national meeting of endocrinologists. There was about 150, 160 of us there. This was the smartest and finest endocrinologists in the nation. A lot of them have published a whole bunch of clinical papers, published textbooks, and some of them were even my mentors when I was in training. So during this conference, they broke us up into smaller groups, and I was in a group, about 20, 30 endocrinologists, which represented the southern United States, Texas and Oklahoma and Louisiana. So there was a lecture going on, and the projector broke. And so while IT was there fixing the projector, we had about 10 minutes to kill. And the professor said, "Hey, let me ask a question, guys. We got 10 minutes to kill. We have metformin, it's our go-to drug. And after metformin, we have these 5 other classes of medications that we can use after metformin. And then we have insulin, okay? So what do you guys prescribe as your go-to next medication after metformin?" So he kind of took a poll, just raise your hands when it went through all the different medications, and it was actually evenly split. It was about 20% for each of the medication classes. So he's like, "Okay, well, why do you choose that medication class?" So we got a huge flood of responses and comments. He's like, "Well, the patients will go online and they say, well, I don't want to get bladder cancer. I read about pancreatic cancer. I read about pancreatitis. I don't want to get swelling. I don't want to get these side effects. I don't want to get low blood sugars. I don't want to get fungal infections, and it's too complicated. I don't want to take injections. My staff would complain that I don't have time to train these patients on certain medications. And then, the insurance issues, so my insurance doesn't cover it. The cost is too much. The pharmacy disapproves it. I take care of a lot of Medicare patients, and these drugs are just not covered." So they're all legitimate comments. So the speaker says, "Okay, hold on. So let me rephrase the question." Said, "Which out of these 5 classes would you like to use if cost wasn't an issue?" Okay. So he asked again. He said he took a poll again. Okay. He went through each of the different medicines, and we all raised our hands. And lo and behold, 2 were out of the equation, and we gravitated to 3 out of the 5 medication classes. So he's like, "Okay, well, let's take a step back. Let me ask you another question. So let's take cost out of the equation, and let's take side effects out of the equation. Which class of medication would you use?" And I thought that was a great question, because all of us are smart in the room. We all know the clinical data. We all know the clinical trials. We all know the studies. We all know the physiology of the medicines. We all know how they work. And it was getting to the root cause of diabetes and the root principles of, okay, what do you truly believe is the best medication out there? It was a fantastic question. And I really wanted to know the answer, see if my colleagues and mentors thought the same way as I did. So he went through all 5 of them again, took the poll, and we all gravitated towards one class, and that class was the GLP-1 class.